Hello, Martin is here. Oh, okay, so and Tarmo is joining too. Okay, just I received the requested. Approve. Hey Tarmo, can you hear me? Tarmo, can you? Hey Tarmo. So hello everyone. Here Martin and Tarmo. So Martin is here on the name ChainAware channel. So we triggered the X-Base on the ChainAware channel, and we have here Tarmo. So this is our X-Base about AI and Web3. It's a number 14. So every 2 weeks, okay, with one little exception, plus minus, we are having X-Spaces. We are speaking about AI, about the Web3, about the convergence. And today, the topic is it's very relevant. It's about the business cases, about the big picture. So, and today's topic is it's all about the unit costs and how do we'll fix it in a Web3. So, and the role of the AI in this thing. So it's unit costs. So we'll dive in what the unit costs are, why it's so relevant, especially for the businesses, for the startups, for the founders. But before we're diving into this one, okay, let me just say we try to keep it on 60 minutes, the session. Now, usually we have a little overrun, but 60 minutes, that's the target. So we try to stick to the target. Now, but let's start with the intro. So we intro ourselves, and then we intro the project, and then we start, okay, then deep dive into the topic of the unit costs on the Web3. Okay, Tarmo, would you like to intro yourself?
Hi, my name is Tarmo. I'm a distinguished architect. I've done 6 very large-scale successful transformation. I've worked as an architect over 20 years now. 11 years Credit Suisse, ex-chief architect of largest Swiss banking platform concerning education, 1 PhD for master's, PhD by Nobel Prize winner, CFA Kaya. This is short about me. Martin, back to you.
Okay, yes, Tarmo is like a usual person whom we meet in a Credit Suisse. So Credit Suisse Credit Suisse is now was taken over by UBS, but that was the style of people you had in a Credit Suisse. Now my background, okay, I'm coming from the startup sector. I launched 4 successful products in startups. It was early after the internet hype, and so when it started 20 years ago, there were as well some who were then less successful or less known. But these 4 have more than 250,000 users, maybe now 300, 350. I don't know. I've lost the touch on this one. And of course, we use the AI. This was translation. So translation approach. We use already AI at that time, so 20 years ago. So I spent 10 years in a Credit Suisse in Zurich. And yeah, from educational background, okay, I have 4 master degrees. Now, Tarmo has 1 PhD as well. I'm just 4 master degrees. I'm a CFA too. Because yeah, in a Credit Suisse, you had to have the knowledge because yeah, it was a very central place. Then after I left Credit Suisse, we created Smart Credit. Now, Smart Credit is a fixed-term borrow-lend platform. It's the first fixed-term borrow-lend platform on the Ethereum, and it's now, let's say, top 20 borrow-lend platform on Ethereum. And yeah, Tarmo, would you like to add about Smart Credit?
Smart credit is very important for crypto. It reduces volatility in crypto because in crypto, what we often have, you see very high volatility in financial instruments, and in smart credit you have a predictable return. You know what your investment return is, so it gives certainty to people and increases massively crypto adoption. And from smart credit, we developed AI algorithms at beginning for scoring credit capabilities. And then later we said, wow, these algorithms are so powerful, and let's publish them for all community. And this is how ChainAware was born. And we have developed fraud algorithms. We know just by address what is the percentage that an actor is going to have fraudulent behavior. We have a very high accuracy, 98%. We can say for contracts, if you have contracts, pool contracts, or which contracts are going to do rules. We can calculate intentions, what users are going to do, and it's all AI based, and all AI predictive AI machine learning use cases which we have now collected in ChainAware, and working use cases which generate profit. And this is also why we know so well AI or machine learning. We have built these algorithms ourselves, and we know it. Martin, did I miss something?
Yes, so particularly we are co-founders of two Web3 projects. Now, Smart Credit, okay, fixed term interest, fixed term borrowing, fixed rate interest. Now, okay, let's emphasize why is the fixed rate very, very relevant. Now, because the DeFi is a very, as usual, it's based on a variable rate. If you look at compound, Aave, yada, yada, all of the 99% of DeFi is based on the variable rate. But the variable rate introduces a credit risk. Now, of course, now DeFi people will say like, hey, what's the issue to manage the credit risk? Well, we say, even the smartest people have an issue to manage the credit risk because you are directly in the interest rate, managing the interest rate risk, which is then managed via the interest rate derivatives. And for the listeners, like there's a bank called Deutsche Bank, like a very big bank in Deutschland and in Germany and some other countries. And the Deutsche Bank has been rather unsuccessful in the managing the interest rate risk, interest rate derivatives risk. You can see this on the balance sheet. So the real economy works on the fixed rate, and then the managing the variability of the interest rates. Even we see the traditional finance has been less.
Variable rate is only for investment bankers, Martin. For normal enterprises and for not people who manage stochastic differential equations, they shouldn't go over the variable interest rates.
And in DeFi we have 99%. The variable interest rate now, but we are saying hey, the real economy needs a fixed term and a fixed interest rate. Of course, in smart credit, that is very unique. It's a clear peer-to-peer. It's not peer-to-pool-to-peer, but we can speak some other X bases about this one. And then ChainAware, the second project of us, yeah. So that means we have two projects. One is focused very much then on DeFi, like a retail bank, small medium enterprise banking, and the other one is then AI and analytics. That's the ChainAware AI. So that's the intro. That's the intro about us. And now let's start with the unit costs. Okay,
yeah, Martin, can you first explain what are unit costs?
Yeah. Okay, now unit costs, now people can understand them very, very, very differently. But let's start in this way. Now you're running a business. You are the founder. You're running the business, and de facto you are running a certain business processes. Now let's look at Credit Suisse. Credit Suisse private banking. I spent pretty much time there. Credit Suisse private banking has 400 business processes. Now, it's a huge bank. Now, if you're looking now at the Web3 platforms, the number of business processes is much smaller. Maybe we are speaking 3, 4, 5, 10 business processes. So, and now we are getting the unit costs. So let's separate the two unit costs here. The one is a total unit cost of the business process for me. Now, what's the total cost for me to run a certain business process? The client triggers a certain business process till this business process is running till the end. Okay, that's one unit cost. Now the other unit cost is before he becomes a client, I have to acquire him, I have to get him, I have to convert him to the client. And these are the acquisition costs. These are the unit costs of acquisition. So that means in today's X-Space, we'll speak about two unit costs. We'll speak of acquisition unit costs, like convert. That's the cost of getting transacting user acquisition unit cost. And the second unit cost, if you look in total business process unit cost, that's the cost of to run the total business process when the user is then starting to transact on your system. So that means we are speaking about these two unit costs because that's the formula, that's the magic behind the economy. That's the scale effect that everything is based on unit cost. The modern capitalism is based on the unit cost. So, and we will dive in. Okay. Tarmo, would you like to continue from here?
Yes, this is the key understanding of unit cost and to see what is difference between Web 2 and Web 3. But first, let's start with Web 2. And Web 2 is, even if you don't believe it, Web 2 has still huge back offices. And Web 2 is not fully digitalized. It is not 100% automated like Web 3. And I've done quite extensive calculations. And when we take now total business process cost, the total business process cost in Web 2 are approximately 8 times higher than Web 3. Processing a customer request to do something is in Web 2 8 times higher compared to if this request is processed in Web 3. So customers have to pay extra for using Web 2, Martin.
Exactly, and now everyone is saying like, oh, I'm very surprised, or how is it possible? It's very simple possible, because if you are a client somewhere, if you're a client in Amazon, if you're a client in eBay, you're a client in Twitter, whatever you're a client in some Web 2 platform, you are dealing only, with automated systems, or you are dealing with the support, but you don't know what's behind the support organization. So, and the support behind this support interfaces, behind the channels, usually have pretty huge back offices. Now, in Credit Suisse, so where we worked very, very long. So in Credit Suisse, you had one front employee, and on one front employee, you had 8 non-front employees. Of course, there's a lot of compliance, there's a lot of IT, there's a lot of operations, there's some HR people, and so on, the legal, everything. But let's add all of together. Let's take the ratio. It's 1 to 8. That means one front office employee. Okay, banks or organizations which are selling financial products has to sell so much financial products, which is covering his own salary cost, which is covering the salary cost of the 8 other people, which is covering all the fixed costs that you have in running the bank, and there has to be a certain profit then for the shareholders. And so that's it. So, like, even if we as a consumers have the impression that I'm just interacting with Spotify or whatever other platform, eBay platform, Twitter platform. Okay, Twitter is exception. So Twitter, let's leave it aside. Twitter has a minimum back office. So Elon Musk, we love Elon Musk. Now, but let's take Google, let's take Facebook, let's take other these kind of platforms. So you have to back office behind. And having back office means new business process. If you're speaking now, we have these 2 unit costs. We have the unit cost of client acquisition, and we have unit cost of total business process unit cost. It means if you have back office, you total unit cost of the business process. So your client will do some business processes that he's doing, some transactions on your platform. You define them, what they are on your platform. It means the cost on the Web 2 is actually pretty high because of these back offices. So that means on the Web 2, we have our back offices, which are bringing the costs up. And on a Web 3, the beauty of a Web 3, we have 100% automation. We don't have back office. Of course, maybe there has to be some this compliance, KYCs, AML, all of these things. But the goal 100% of automation, meaning you don't have back office, meaning your total cost of a business process, you're taking them down. Yeah.
Yes.
So, okay.
In Web 3, your unit costs are 8 times lower than business process unit costs are 8 times lower than in Web 2.
And, okay, but what is now the reaction of the Web 2? How will Web 2 usually must somehow bring these unit costs down? How will they bring them down? Or what is the aim? What is their strategy?
Yes, they have the main strategy now is LLMs or all this AI bubble. And what they dream is now that with AI, they can bring this overly complex business process unit cost down. And what they haven't figured out till now is that LLMs have very high false positive ratio. It just gives you an answer and it is just some fantasy or science fiction. And this technology has quite high limitations and you can't apply to automate to achieve 100% automation in Web 2. but this is currently VC narrative and narrative of all main organizations or leaders in the world, that with AI we can automate Web2 companies and bring them to 100% digitalization, which is based on non-existing understanding of LLMs.
Just jumping in here, then you will continue, Tarmo. Like, okay, this is a X-Space number 14 about AI and Web3. We have been speaking very much about the LLMs, the limitations of LLMs, and the Web3 relations. Okay, at the moment we speak about Web2s. Very soon we jump now over to Web3 in this session, but we are speaking very, very much about the LLMs. Now, Tarmo, can you say again to the listeners, what are the key issues with the LLMs? Why the LLMs will not solve this issue? What some strategists in the VCs were thinking?
From users' perspective, the key issue is a very high false positive ratio. It just gives you some output and it is totally false, and customer will just go run away. This is what LLMs will achieve. And there is no way to prove what is the reason why did LLM answer like it answered. And
this capability doesn't exist because it's an auto-regression model, and auto-regression model meaning, let me visualize what is auto-regression model. Like some people, or actually most of people in the world, are dreaming about becoming a beautiful, very good trader, so that they look on the Bitcoin exchange rate and they will forecast what is the next one. So I'm using the previous data to predict the next one, so auto-regression. So I'm getting the auto-regression model. Now LLMs are auto-regression model. So
yeah. And what is this misconception is that Web2 companies think that they can beat the Web3 companies if they use now LLMs to automate the rest. And we have all this news that they will fire hundreds, thousands of millions of white collar workers, etc., etc. It is a fantasy. Yeah, this is what we see. The other way how Web2 companies compete with Web3 companies is AdTech. And the key here is to understand that Web2 companies have very high conversion ratio. If a customer comes to Web2 website, then using a machine learning, the Web2 companies have conversion ratio up to 30%. That from 10 people who come to the website, 3 become transacting users.
So Web3 founders, listen to these numbers. This is a fact. So listen to these numbers. Yes. Back there.
And this is achieved thanks to AdTech and very, very high usage of machine learning and optimization algorithms in Web2. And this is now very, very, very important. Acquisition cost in Web2, if you use these technologies, is very low. So we have in Web2 situation that business process unit cost is 8 times higher, but acquisition cost for new users are in Web2 extremely low.
Extremely optimized. And that is happening, this extremely optimized user acquisition cost, because there's a massive AdTech. That's today's topic, that we want to speak about unit cost first, so that we understand unit cost, and unit cost explains why we need an AdTech. So, because this massive AdTech usage allows the Web2 companies to bring down massively the acquisition cost. So even if your total business processes are expensive, but if you are getting much more users, and these much more users are then generating revenues, but it's a very expensive business processes, because these huge back offices which you have to keep alive, you're still competitive. Because it's the balance. It's the balance that is making it out. So one part, the acquisition is super optimized. The other one has a technical limitations. We say the companies try to use the LLMs to sort it out. Okay, they still keep using it. Well, my bet in 2 years, in 3 years, they figured it out. It will not work, and then we get some new fashion, some new technology fashion for the Web2 companies. But why this technology fashion is coming? Because they have to bring the unit cost down. It's a basic of capitalism. So you have to bring your cost down, so increase effectiveness. So Here we are.
And
So,
if they don't bring them down, they will be eaten by Web3. It's very simple, Martin.
yes. The next one, the next paradigm, the companies from the next paradigm will eat them. So as the Web 2, so Web 1 was eating, what's called brick and mortar. What it called? So brick and mortar. So Web 2 was eating Web 1, and the Web 3 will eat Web 2. And that's what people are forgetting. Now, at the moment, okay, we are coming to this acquisition cost, the unit cost, because we have these two unit costs. The one is a unit cost of acquisition, and this depends on your ad tech. This depends on your targeting. This depends on your one-to-one targeting. This depends how do you message your user. So acquisition cost, and the second is the unit cost of total business process. Now it's clear in a Web3, the total business process costs they are much less. So it's the gas cost. You pay the gas to make the transaction on the Ethereum. In the Ethereum blockchain, of course, if you are a founder, you have to host the platform, yada yada, you have some additional cost. So it's fair. But if you compare with the Web 2, the total business process costs are much higher because of your fixed cost, your enormous fixed cost. But it's compensated then with this massive AdTech investments in the Web 2. Yeah, sorry, I'm just repeating same talk that we were speaking before.
And let's go, Martin, now over to Web3. And what we have in Web3 is we have approximately 8 times lower unit cost, business process unit cost than in Web2. And Web3 is fully automated, contrary to Web2. However, acquisition costs in Web3 are massive. Cost per transacting user are, we can say, more than $1,000 to acquire a user. You have to pay more than $1,000. And if your acquisition costs have such size, then it is really difficult to find a way how to become a cash flow positive. And this is a situation that all Web3 companies are faced. If they want to become cash flow positive, profitable companies, then they have to get their acquisition costs down. And or Martin,
yeah, exactly. Let's think on a Web 2 again. Now, in a Web 2, okay, we explained it. Okay, even if it's counterintuitive, the Web 2, the total business process costs are very high, but these are compensated. This very high cost of total business processes are compensated with totally optimized user acquisition costs. So your user acquisition cost is so optimized, you're getting so high value out of this user acquisition cost. So you're still generating profit now with the total business process costs, which are very high. You still generate profit. Now let's take the Web3. Now, very simple question. What's the point reducing your total business process cost if your client acquisition costs are massive? You can have this super business process, most effective, genius, all everything super. Business process costs are very low. But if your acquisition costs are huge, then no one is using it.
And this is what Web3 has today. They have in Web3 technology where business process unit costs have competitive advantage over Web2. However, it's not used because people don't know it. And they don't know it because AdTech for Web3 is missing.
Yeah, and now let's make a little jump here to the Web2. Do you remember when the Web2 emerged, there were a lot of very skeptical people and so on. But what emerged in a Web2, it was as well an AdTech. And now when the Web2 AdTech emerged, then people, the targeting mechanism started working. Okay, let's speak to digital marketing. Digital marketing in Europe is a 30 billion euro annual business. Very hidden business, very in the background business, but it's a huge business. So that's the users are targeted based on their intentions. You are not targeting just some arbitrary users. You are targeting users who fit you. You are converting them with intention-based marketing. So you are targeting based on intentions, you convert them. But back to the topic now, the Web2 started to boom when this targeting mechanism started to work, when the AdTech emerged. Because before Web2 AdTech, you had all these funny / silly websites, Alta Vista and all others. So the older guys remember them. But there were no resonance with the users. There were just some, or even this Google fantasy that a website should have only 26 words, like Google then used as a big design guidance. Only 26 words and nothing more, like oversimplification, which happened as well later in the Web3, this oversimplification, which was fully counterintuitive. Now, but the Web2 started to grow when the AdTech emerged, because you had to create this resonating experience. So now AdTech emerged. With the AdTech, the acquisition costs were taken down. So Web2 had as well a huge acquisition cost in the beginning. You had to finance all these big back-end back processes, back office processes, and then you had some 2 or 3 converted users on the front. So it wasn't sustainable. But when the targeting started working, when you started to get the users, and when you started to convert the users, then these numbers came turned. You still had your huge fixed cost of your back office, but because you had so much client acquisition, the numbers turned. No, but the numbers turned, they switched because there was an AdTech. Of course, there were technological solution and so on, but it was an AdTech to target the people, to get them to the platforms. And that's what's maybe less spoken of the part of the Web2 history. And while we're speaking about this Web2 history, look again. Web2 acquisition costs are low, business process costs very high. But Web2 emerged because the Web2 AdTech developed, and AdTech allowed to bring the unit cost down. And unit cost down had a side effect that these companies become highly profitable. They start to generate huge cash flows.
Yes, and they became better than, significantly even more better than Web1 companies, Martin.
And they become significantly better than Web1. Yeah.
What we have now in Web2, when we speak about conversion ratio, when you take intention-based marketing, you go up with conversion ratio to 30%. And this is amazing, and this is what Web2 companies have today. Conversion ratio 30%. 3 users from 10 who come to the website of shop or application or whatever, start transacting, start doing business process transactions.
Okay, let me jump in. But now I know already 10 people are jumping in and talking, no way, how they have data about me? They don't know who I am. Well, guys, there are thousands of trackers on your website. If you use a Brave browser, the trackers are not included, they are tracker free. But if you use a Mozilla, okay, there's a no script or they're disconnected, you see how many trackers are around there. And these trackers are connecting data about you. And this data is connected, it's synthesized all together. Then we have a Google. Google they have a search history. No, but it's not like they have a search history, they have your browsing history. Now, how do they get your browsing history? We are speaking all the time, every time when you have CAPTCHA, look in the terms of conditions. When you say CAPTCHA, yes, okay, you agree to send your browsing history to the master, to the Google. Now, what is Google doing? Google has your search history, they have your browsing history, and based on this, they're calculating who you are as a person. What are the buyer intentions? You are a potential buyer. What are your buyer intentions? If last week you bought, let's make an example, of BMW, the German car, probably next week you will not buy it. So you bought it already. So what are your buyer intentions? What is your buyer behavior? What are your next actions? And Google is calculating. Now, Facebook is doing exactly the same. Now, Facebook is using less the search history, less the browsing history, because in Facebook, people are just adding the data for free. Now, Facebook is not paying them. The same in Twitter. Twitter is not paying the users. The users are paying Twitter. They have the premium accounts. Now, and if you look down Google, based on these data sources that Google has, they calculate buyers' intentions, so buyers' next steps, what the buyers want. Now let's take the Facebook. Okay, you can create any arbitrary profiles, but still, like based on your interest, with whom you're interacting, how you're interacting, how many seconds you interact, and so on, so on. They calculate your intentions. And how is it possible? Let me explain it. It's a question of big data sets. Like, if people had the past actions, let's say there are 1,000 other people who had the past actions similar to you, then probably your next actions will be similar to their next actions. Now, the difference being they already did their next actions. Now, you haven't done it yet. But because your past actions were the same as the other set of the actions, it's predicting what is your next action. Your intentions, your actions. So let's call it intention-based marketing. So intentions, what are the buyer intentions? Google is calculating it. Facebook is calculating it. Twitter is calculating it. And based on this, you have a super sharp, like a targeting. Now, of course, now people are coming and say, hey, there's a GDPR. Yeah, of course, there's a GDPR. Of course, guys, GDPR protects big companies. Big companies. That's why the GDPR
protects
is
companies. It don't protect customers.
It's not for the client protection, guys. Wake up. The GDPR means, yes, your data is kind of private, yeah, but Google has the ID maps and so on. How they target you? They create a micro sequence. They add you into this micro sequence. You are in this micro sequence, and the micro sequence is targeting. And this micro sequence are the people with a similar behaviors, with a similar intention, and they're just targeting. All people who would like to buy BMW in Germany, target them. So, okay, and meaning the Web 2, because there's all this data that is available, it's analyzed, and all these trackers, whether there are thousands of trackers, okay, if you don't use Brave, there are thousands of trackers. This tracker data, it's visible then. What are you browsing? Which websites you're visiting? All this data is consolidated via these trackers. And based on this, the analytics is done. What are your actions? Next actions. What are your intentions? So Web 2 marketing is intention-based marketing.
So. Yeah, Martin, and we have even one more factor, and these are adaptive user interfaces.
Oh, I forgot this one. Exactly. So one topic is bring users to the website. Like we have to give the messages, users, hey, come to the website. But now the second thing is we got the user to the website. What do we tell them? Let me make a very example, a very simple example. Go Amazon.com or Amazon.de, so Amazon.com. Just compare, make a screenshot of your landing page. Now compare with any other your friend. Put it on Twitter, ask anyone in Twitter, do they have the same landing page? Of course, except the name and so on. No one has it the same landing page. Your landing page is personalized for you. Now, that's what I think it's like a word game. So, like, people think personalization means that I personalize my website. No, personalization means company personalizes their landing page, what you see for your intention, for your buyer intention, for your buyer behavior. That's how the company is then personalizing it. And through this personalized one-to-one message platform, one-to-one website, well, do you see these things that are resonating with you? So the Facebook, for example, let's jump to the Facebook. Facebook openly admitted that you see on your feed topics which you like, with but you are resonating. You don't see things that you're not resonating. So no, but the same on Amazon.com, the same on other shopping platforms. You see the things which are matching with you as a person, which are matching with your buyer intentions. Okay. Now, two topics on the web tool. Get the users to the website. Okay, we calculate the intentions. The second topic, we have user on the website, but we don't know. We have to give him personalized experience, personalized website. And this personalized website doesn't mean that there are some big widgets there or big logic. No, it's the messages. Which messages?
And maybe also numbers. Gartner, this research institution, says that end of 2025, 70% of Web 2 companies have adaptive user interfaces.
Yes, that's the word, adaptive user interfaces, meaning it's adapted on you, personalized / adaptive. Gartner is calling it adaptive. Let's call it adaptive. So, say again the numbers by end of 25, 70%.
Yes, 70%. And 70% of Web2 companies have adaptive user interfaces. And this is what we see in Web2. We see intention-based marketing, adaptive user interfaces. As a result, we have conversion ratio around 30%.
Guys, now, if you're founders, if you're listening to this, or if you know founders beside you, are the founders aware of this? Are the founders aware how it works on the Web 2? That in a Web 2, the marketing costs were taken down via this mechanism, via the AdTech to get right people to the website. And the second, create that adaptive user interfaces then on the website. And if you plug it together, you took your acquisition cost, the unit cost. We're speaking of the unit cost. Two unit cost of acquisition and the unit cost of business process. The unit cost of the acquisition were taken down. So simple it was. And that was the secret sauce of the Web 2.
And Martin, we can make a numbers game, cost per click. What is it currently? High value user, $5 cost per click, yeah?
Or at least, but okay, like many platforms are not giving. Like if you're in the crypto, if you want to have a CPC, okay, cost per click, probably you cannot buy cost per click, but maybe in some platforms you can. If you go in the OECD, let's say high wealth countries in OECD, the cost per click is $5. Let's think on a Web3 now. You have $5 cost.
Now calculate. It means you need $15 to get one transacting user in Web 2, and in Web 3 we need more than $1,000.
Yeah. Okay. How do we get to $1,000? But okay, we know the numbers are actually higher than $1,000. So
yes.
So very simple. Let's make a simple calculation. So you make a CPC. Now the issue here in the CPC is we are not doing targeting. You cannot do any targeting in a Web3. So it's missing. So you're just targeting wide. You are hoping that your message will motivate the NFT collector, or a gamer, or a gambler, or a leverage taker, or just a staker to use your platform, to have some value on this. So you're just spreading your money everywhere with the CPC. Okay, let's say you get 20 people to your website, one of them will connect the wallet. I mean, this would be an excellent result because you don't have any targeting. You're not targeting people outside of your website properly. So that means the probability that you're connecting the wallet, that's low. Okay, now from this who connected the wallet, you still don't have any personalized messages for them. So, no, because you probably have this philosophy like there's the magic user interface, or maybe even worse, the Google design model, there's only 26 words on the user interface, or was it 23 words on the user interface, like oversimplification. But guys, people are different. There are people who are fast thinkers, there are people who have like evaluating every option 10 times and then still thinking like what to choose. And they say like, hey, I will better decide tomorrow. Some people are very fast at deciders, and so on, so on. Let's take the full empathy or other personalization classifications. People are different. Now, it's obvious you have to give people different messages. So, you got the guy to the website. 1 out of 20 connected wallet. He's still seeing the same messages. Like every other one is seeing the same messages too. So, the magic message. Now, let's say from this guy who connected the wallet, let's say 10, every 10 will transact. I mean, it will be a very good result. And you're already $1,000. 5 times 20 times 10. But probably it's not 1 to 20 to connect wallet. It's not 1 to 10 to transact from connected wallets. The ratios are worse. And what you have in a Web3, your cost as a founder to get the transacting users are huge. Now, the unit cost of total business process, they are super. But again, what we said before, if you have this super business process total cost is so down, so low, but your acquisition cost is so massive, and that's the point. There is no point. So, and that's the idea of this today's X space that we are speaking. Because we are speaking in all the X spaces in so many different topics, but I think that's the issue in the Web3.
Yes.
The Web3 issue is how do you get your unit cost down? Not the total business process unit cost down, they are down already. but how you get your acquisition unit cost down. How do you do it? It's very simple, very simple. But speaking, there's do the same as a Web 2 did. Web 2 had exactly the same situation. They fixed it. Web 3 needs the same. Yeah, Tarmo, please.
Yeah, and we can say Web 2 has at least 60, 70 times lower acquisition cost than Web 3. And now, how can Web 3 compete with Web 2? It can't. And we have situation that we need a Web 3 AdTech, Martin.
Exactly. So just if you want to cross the cusp with the Web 3, you will need the AdTech. That means targeting. We have 2 parts on the. Let's recap again in Web 2. We have 2 parts. The first one, intention calculation and get the right people to the EU website, to EU platform. So that's the first part. Get right people, not everyone. If you're borrowing website, you probably don't need gamers or gamblers. You need borrowers, or you need guys who are intention to borrow in the future, or past borrowers or intention in the future to borrow. So get the right people to the website. Web 2 did it. And now on the website, adaptive. That's the word that Gartner is using, adaptive user interfaces. Okay, they're talking about personalization. It's not personalization of the background color. It's about the Web3 platforms creating adaptive user based on new buyer intentions. Now, the result of this one is resonating user experience. Now, there are all these UX gurus in a Web3 walking around and speaking about creating a perfect UX, and especially these famous Google 23 or 26 words. I don't remember now. Point being, there is no perfect user experience. People are different. Now, there is no perfect user message to the user. People are different. Some people react on some messages, other people don't react to the same messages. And so on and so on. So, Web 2 learned it. You need one-to-one marketing, AdTech. You need to bring the right people to the website, intention-based. They learned it. And they learned you how to do the adaptive. And miracle, you got the acquisition cost down. And even if that is total business process, unit costs are so high. They are surviving very well, and not only just surviving, they're generating nice profits. Now, Web3 has a massive advantage of total business process. The cost is so small compared, because there's no back offices. Okay, yeah, we know compliance, yada yada. There will be some. Now, but let's leave it aside. Your total business process unit cost will be much lower. So, but you will need the same. You will need to cross the customer, or not you as a founder. The all Web3 will need to cross the customer. The same way as a Web 2 crossed the customer. Now, Web 2 started, I'm just repeating, rephrasing, started to create resonating user interfaces. Resonating user experience, not a perfect user experience design. Perfect colors, corporate design, yada yada, no. Nice try. Nice try. But resonating with your visitors, resonating with your users, adaptive user interface, and getting the right people to your website, to your platform. Web 2 sorted it out. The Web 2 platforms, the winning platforms, who they are, they sorted it out. Of course, they're not telling this now to every user, hey, here's an adaptive user interface for you. We just calculated your intentions, and based on your intentions, that's what we propose to you. Of course, they're not telling it to you. That's the business secret. That's how they do the business. Their business secret is how they took the acquisition cost down, because that's the only way for them to survive in the business in the Web 2. And of course, they're not speaking about this, their business secrets. So, now, but what do we do in the Web 3?
We are also not talking about this issue. It's the same, Martin. In Web 2, we don't speak about it because it's the secrecy.
Business secret.
Web 2.
And in Web 3, we are not speaking. Yeah. Because if the founders speak about this, then every investor is saying, wait, give me a sec. Did you want it to become a cash flow positive with these unit costs? There's no way the Web3 businesses become cash flow positive with these unit costs. It's not a single way. So the founders cannot speak about this topic. Because if they speak about this topic of client acquisition costs in a Web3, which are massive, And then you compare the revenues. Of course, there are projects which have succeeded, perfect, bingo, cool. But look on DeFi Llama. Like in a DeFi Llama, you have DeFi projects, I think 4,000 of them, or related projects as well. And in some cases, projects are listing the revenues that they're generating. Now, and okay, on the left side there, on the DeFi Llama menu, you just scroll a little bit down and there is like revenue/fees. Okay, revenues on there. And you will see as well yearly revenues. Sort them from bigger to smaller, and just scroll down. And you see, of course, there are some big boys who are generating a lot of revenues, but how fast it declines. Now, I think that 20,000, 20,000, 40,000, 50,000, we don't know how many Web3 projects growing every day. That's with their revenues. So if this revenues is like distributions, but a power law distribution, like a very fast down or very fast up, okay, step. That will happen with all this long tail. Where are they getting the revenues? Now, the issue is like they have to get the revenues or they will not survive. That's it now. But they cannot get revenues with a traditional Web3 marketing mechanism. It ain't working. It's too expensive. Of course, now I know that people start to speak about the KOLs, the key opinion leaders. Okay, if anyone speaks about the KOLs, then I'm telling you, go on this website. It's called AlphaCrude or AlphaScan or something similar. And you have 750 KOLs there. And you can sort them by their returns on 30 days. Sort them. Go on this website, sort them. AlphaScan or AlphaCrude, AlphaScan. And look how many are positive. How many are generated positive returns in 30 days? The last time I checked, it was last week, it was 40 out of 750. Now, 40 calls. So the founders are paying the calls. Okay, we should say it probably ain't work. The founders are paying the media. Who is winning? The media. The media is winning. The founders are paying for CPM, cost per mille or cost per click. But what's the point doing CPM? What's the point doing CPC if you don't have micro targeting on top of this? That's the point. You're just losing your marketing budget. So the founders are doing press releases, everything. And but this is all a mass marketing. This is not one-to-one targeting. It's not intention-based targeting. We are fully 1930s. Madison Avenue. There's a newspaper. People read the newspaper. They go on Madison Avenue to go to the shop. To go to the Macy's. I think Macy's was on Madison Avenue. If not, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. Now, but the point being, everyone gets the same message, and everyone goes to this Macy's, and they see the same shopping floor. This is 1930s marketing. What we explained before is a Web2 marketing status quo today. This is missing in a Web3. So now the Web3 okay, we spoke about revenues. You go in this DeFi Llama. You look at this, how big these revenues are. Not every project is reporting the revenues, but just look at this, and you see this is a hockey stick formula. Long tail of projects, very low or nothing, and then some with that amount of winners take it all. Now, what will this long tail do? That's their mission. Very simple. Acquisition cost. Get the acquisition cost down. Instead of paying these calls, there is no return. Or instead of doing this media or CPC, CPM campaigns, which are then just spreading money to everywhere. What's the point? The point is then to go in the real AdTech, Web3 AdTech, into one-to-one marketing, into intention-based targeting. The same Web2 did. Okay, now let's jump to the Web3. Let's speak about Web3 AdTech. Why is Web3 AdTech possible now? Oh yeah, I'm speaking too much. Why is Web3 AdTech fun?
Martin, and why is it possible, and why it is better than Web2? And what we have in Web3 is all this data about transactions is public and free. In Web2, you have to build enormous data pipelines and enormous data collection systems to collect data. In Web3, it's all available. And the second point is prediction power of financial data is very, very, very high. it has enormous prediction power. It has better prediction power of human behavior than some search behavior or social media post or your browsing history. Prediction power of financial transactions is extremely powerful, and it predicts your intentions, it predicts your behavior, and predicts it up to 10, 12 years into future. And you can say exactly
Let's make
when.
an example. Guys, if you don't believe us, okay, we have a fraud detection algorithm. It's a predictive fraud detection. It predicts addresses to commit fraud or scam in the future. Okay, we don't know the time point in the future before it happens.
Mhm.
They are predictive rug pull detector. We predict the pool owners or pool creators, like meaning the pools, to rug pull the pool before it happens, not after it happens. Now, how is it possible? And we have prediction accuracy 98%. It's back tested. Of course, we are transparent. We are not using the backtesting data to train our models. You cannot do it. And we are backtesting with the crypto scam DB. 98% we have real time on chain. Real time on chain. No other data, just the blockchain data. But this shows you the prediction capability, prediction accuracy of the blockchain data. So, Tarmo, back to you.
Yeah, and we get very high prediction power and very high value or very precise intention what the user wants to do actually. And we, as the data has better prediction power, Web3 AdTech is superior to Web2. Actually, it should be that Web2 starts using data from Web3 to predict the user's intentions.
Bingo.
Because yes, this data is very, very valuable and it is free. It's available. And this gives Web3 AdTech a competitive advantage over Web2 AdTech. And all we need is intention calculations, what we do in ChainAware or rug pull calculations or fraud calculations, what we do with predictive models. And it's here, it's available, and founders can start using it and bring their acquisition costs down from more or 60, 70, 80 times or more down to a level what we have in Web 2, $15 per new user to acquire a transacting user. And it's all uses machine learning. It all uses predictive models. And we use very, very high prediction power data, financial data. Financial data gives you best predictions, but what you can dream because you don't do transactions just like in fantasy, transactions cost and you think before you do it.
We have been speaking in the earlier X spaces a lot about these things. Why financial data has so high prediction capability, prediction accuracy. Just to make a short example, on social media you can pretend to be anyone. Today I pretend to be always my example, Queen of England or King of England, and I create my profile. I behave like a King of England and so on. Nothing stops me doing this. And you know what? There's no cost involved for me. There's no cost.
Yeah, and in Web3, if you have something in blockchain, there is cost.
There's a cost. And this proof of work means the individuals, the users who have the intentions, users who have prior intentions, they're thinking before. And their thinking process leaves the traces on the blockchain. And these transactions they are costly. Okay, that's why you love Ethereum, because in Ethereum there's a cost involved. If you are totally gasless transactions, then we are getting this I'm a Queen of England or King of England model. But if there's a gas involved, if a gas cost involved, meaning people are thinking, and this thinking process exposes who they are, what are their intentions.
And back to AdTech, what it means for Web3 AdTech is our data source for Web3 AdTech, what we use in ChainAware, it is very high quality, extremely high quality. And we need maybe only 10, 11 transactions make very accurate predictions of future intentions, future behavior. And really to emphasize, this technology is here. It's for founders. It's for founders to get their startups into cash flow positive area by reducing acquisition cost, to let them their business process what they have invented to let users use these business processes, to acquire users for their business processes. This technology is here, it's available, and this technology can now give Web3 what Web3 was supposed to do. When we have in Web3 8 times cheaper business process unit cost, and when we say, okay, AdTech, we have the same acquisition cost, of course, in Web3, it will be even lower because we have extremely high quality data. Then what happens is Web3 will take over. Martin.
Yeah, exactly. Let's think again. Web2 today, the business process, total business process, high cost, but acquisition cost, business secrets. They're taken down. The biggest secrets. How they managed it, but they managed it, they are down. Now let's take a Web3. The business process unit cost, very low compared to the Web2. Now, if Web3 manages to bring down the acquisition cost, and it's the same crossing the cusp what the Web2 did, and how the Web2 did it with the AdTech, with the emerging AdTech, they managed it. Now, when Web3 manages the same with the AdTech, it's crossing the cusp, then it's all economy behind the capitalism. Capitalism is not now something last 100 years or 150 years after Karl Marx wrote his, I don't know how it was called, his thesis. Capitalism is the economical system based on private property, and this has been there very long, thousands of years.
It's innovation, Martin. It's innovation. It's a system which better innovation with lower unit cost wins.
Exactly. That's all the story of thousands of years human civilization. You can call it capitalism, you can call it innovation, you can call it history of civilizations. The systems, the companies which are bringing lower unit costs, they will win. Now, in Web2, okay, please, Tom.
And let's take now Web2. What Web2 thinks now is that they can catch up with LLMs. That with LLMs, the Web2 brings their business process unit cost down. They haven't understood that LLMs don't solve this issue, of course. And when Web3 starts now using AdTech, then we have this effect crossing the cusp. So Web3 becomes mainstream, Martin.
Yeah, it's all about the unit cost. It's all about the economy. In every century, it's these companies, these economies, they will prosper, they will take over, which will bring a better unit cost. Now, of course, the guys are telling you about the scaling costs and whether it's learning, whatever. Listen, we have four master degrees, Tarmo and me. We can speak ages about this. No, but the key point here is the companies which bring the unit cost down, they will prosper. The companies which cannot change their business processes because they are too fixed. Let's make an example of Dow Jones index. Dow Jones index. From 1930, there's only one company which is in the Dow Jones index. It's General Electric. The others didn't manage to adjust the business processes. The others didn't manage to reinvent themselves. The guys who are reinventing, it's not about reinvention. It's about business process unit costs and acquisition unit costs. It's the unit cost. If you bring the unit cost down, meaning you are reinventing yourself. But it's not reinvention. It's not the goal. It's the unit costs are the goal. And this is capitalism. It's not the capitalism of 100 years. It's the human civilization. These companies, these guys, that's an innovation.
It's all about innovation.
How you bring the unit cost down. That's all about this. And if you are innovator, it means actually you bring the unit cost down in what you're doing. But now again, think in two. You have two clusters. One is your business process unit cost. The other is your acquisition unit cost. And if you don't bring your acquisition unit cost down, it will fail. Ergo, in a Web3, we need AdTech. We are with the heart in a Web3. We need an AdTech. We need the same crossing the cusp that happened in Web2 with AdTech. Now, the same thing. We are not reinventing anything new. We are just using the data that is there. We are using the public data, the public blockchain data, proof of work data. We love Ethereum. No, it's proof of stake, but still there are gas costs. Gas costs, meaning the high prediction accuracy, high prediction power. The data is there. So the AdTech is there. And we spoke about this DeFi Llama, these companies who are like not generating revenues, this long tail, like Amazon long tail cases. Amazon long tail. Now, each of them can start to think, what are my acquisition costs? How do I bring them down? In the two ways. Some projects will say like, not possible. So I just dump a token, that's it. It's not possible. And probably many will do it. But we say there are others, there are hundreds or thousands of projects who want to bring sustainable businesses. And you bring sustainable business when you become cash flow positive. To become cash flow positive, again, unit costs. Acquisition unit costs and the unit cost of business process. Get them down. But unit cost of business process, they are already down. It's a Web3. You bring your acquisition cost down. You get the revenues, you get the cash flow positive. You are sustainable business.
Martin, we are over hour. We should now summarize again.
Okay, you start summarizing this.
Yeah, for me, future of Web3 is very bright. And my prediction is Web3 will start using AdTech. And then we see how lower unit cost in Web3 in terms of business process unit cost, and also AdTech unit cost will lead Web3 to winner in the battle with Web2. It's my prediction, and it will go very fast. My prediction is it will take 3 till 4 years.
Exactly. Now, and summary from just saying exactly the same thing that Tarmo said and repeating the same talk. It's all about the unit costs. All innovation is about the unit costs. It's maybe less, the business processes are the same. Because why? The client needs are the same. The clients are not changing, the humans are the same. They still have the same needs. We're not reinventing the new needs. We are responding to the existing needs. But innovation is now bringing the unit cost down. And we say the two parts of bringing unit cost down, the business process unit cost and this acquisition unit cost. And if you bring both of them down in sense of breaking it, if you crack this formula, there is nothing that can stop Web3. So that's my closing remarks for today.
Yes, Martin, and with this beautiful future prediction, let's finish today's talk.
Okay, then, and that means we are on the Twitter Spaces, X Spaces every 2 weeks. Then Tarmo and I, we are speaking. You see, we are speaking about a lot of ideas. We are speaking, so yeah, every 2 weeks. Then please follow our Twitter channel. If you love it, like it, just tweet it, share it, and tell this to the founders that there is another way. Okay, guys. So thank you. Thank you for listening, and please share it if you like it.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. So.